What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my garage. Welcome back to another great video with everything Avon. As you see, we got the GTR here in the garage. I just took it out from underneath the car cover. We have the hood propped open, and that is because we're going to be doing something up underneath here. We're actually going to be tackling a fluid maintenance on the vehicle. This is actually one of the fluid maintenance that you would probably, or a lot of people probably neglect or just plain out forget that you actually have to do every once in a while. It's not the brake fluid, it's not the oil, it's not the transmission, it's not the front or rear differentials. It's actually up here, and it's inside this guy right here. If you don't know what that is your power steering fluid reservoir. Whoa. That is the fluid which assists you when you start turning left and right. Power assist, fluid assist, whatever you want to call it, hydraulic pump, that's what it is. There's fluid inside here, and just like everything else, it goes bad over time. So similar to the Accent transmission drain and fill video that you've seen me do in the past, we're going to do a similar method here. Because there's not really a drain plug in the power steering system, there's really only this reservoir, and that's the only access to it. So we're actually going to have to drain the reservoir, then refill it, do some stuff, and continuously drain, refill, drain, refill, just like we did on the Accent. We're going to be taking partial changes. The approximate capacity that the service manual states that the GTR has as far as power steering fluid goes is about 1 liter. I've already been doing this a couple times. I'll show you that here in a second as we continue along, but I can only get probably about 6 ounces out at a time. That's okay because I have multiple bottles. I have 2 here and 3 more that's coming in. We're going to be draining, refilling, draining, refilling to kind of cut into that full 1 liter mark, but it's going to take a little bit of time. I already got 2 bottles of the genuine Nissan power steering fluid. I'll put the link down below to this specific genuine part number. I'm just going to go with the genuine one. There is another one that you can use, but it was real cheap. This is a 12-ounce bottle, and I think they're only about 10 bucks online. It is an affiliated link, so if you do purchase from it, I will receive a small commission, and I do say thank you. It helps me continue to make videos like these for all the vehicles we got. Get you several of these, more the merrier. It's going to be difficult to get to 100%, but we can get as close as possible with the more fluid you have. So the first thing we're going to do is take out this fluid. So I've used a bendable, malleable silicone hose, one that's clean. This is the only hose I've used for this power steering fluid, so you don't get any contamination. And literally what I do is I just slide this guy right into the reservoir, get it to the lowest point you possibly can, and I'll start pumping it out into the bottle. Alright guys, so with the first drain, this is actually my third, but I'll explain in a second. This guy here, as you can see, it's still super dark. I'll show you the fluid here in a second, which is actually a bright, vivid red. I say third drain and fill because I've actually started filming this well within the process. Over here at the workbench, this was my actual first refill. Literally black, it's gunky and brown. This was my second here, still super dark, still gunky, still looking brown, maybe a little bit of extra red, just so you can get a better look at what the third drain and fill looks like. Still dark, brown, a little bit more red color. But that's why we have to do this multiple times, because you won't be able to get it all out with one flush. You got to do it multiple times. Right now we have an empty reservoir, so obviously the next thing we need to do is fill it back up. Right now the engine is cold, so I actually put a little snippet from the service manual which will show you the lines that are actually on the little dipstick here. Those will show you where you need to fill it up on a cold engine or a hot engine. And again, because we're cold, we'll go to the cold side. So while we're pouring, I'm actually going to show you guys, hopefully you can see on the camera, just how bright red the new fluid is, which again kind of shows you just how overdue we were on this power steering fluid. There's really not a maintenance interval listed in the service manual, so it's kind of to your judgment. So definitely check yours if you are a few years into your vehicle, probably 5 to 6 years into owning your vehicle, or if you're not the first owner, 5 to 6 years since it was original and brand new. Since this is a 2015, we're sitting at top of 6 years, so that's why I checked it, and I'm glad I did. I'll kind of just put this dipstick back in to see where I'm sitting. Like I said earlier, I want to make sure I'm at the cold line. Actually, it looks like I perfectly got it on the first try. You're not quite done yet. We actually got to make our way into the vehicle and do that little sequence I was talking about earlier. So let's get in the vehicle. So what we're going to be doing, what is this sequence? I'll tell you it first and then we'll actually do it because I can't do it with one hand. But you're going to be turning the steering wheel left and right several times, and that's literally all you're going to have to do. First, we're going to turn the vehicle to the on position, not on all the way, but just to the on position. You don't want to turn the engine on quite yet. This is where I'll need two hands because it's going to be pretty difficult to do it while the vehicle is off. But I'm going to turn it all the way to the left till it hits the stop, turn it all the way to the right till it hits the stop, and I'm literally going to do that several times over. So let me do that real quick off camera, and once we completed that, we'll move on to the next step. But now we're literally going to do the exact same thing again, but we're going to turn on the vehicle. This time we're going to go all the way to the left. You're going to hold it at the stop for about 3 seconds. Then you're going to turn it all the way to the right, hold it at the right stop for about 3 seconds. And you're going to repeat this process in those 3-second intervals. Do that several times. Once again, same idea. This forces the fluid to go into one direction to help you turn left, and vice versa to help you turn right. So what we're doing is we're just fast forwarding the circulation process of that new fluid, which is still in the reservoir, and we want it to go through the entire system. So we'll go ahead and turn on the car, and I'll get turning on the wheel, and we'll be good. So we're going to go to the left, hold it there for a couple. Good. Turn it to the right, hold it there again, 1, 2, 3, and keep repeating that process over and over several times. Alright guys, and we finished up that with the vehicle on, and yeah, we're pretty much good to go for this interval. So I've already done this 3 times and I've actually used the last bit of my fluid. I do have a few more of these coming in. So you can really just go as many times as you want till you really get your fluid out as red as you want. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna continue from here.
2 weeks later.
It's been a couple weeks now, or maybe a few weeks. As you can see here, I have a whole lineup of the bottles of the fluid that I took out of the GTR, starting from the original drain and then all the subsequent drain and fills after that. So I ended up doing 7 total changes. And I have this little light put up behind it, so hopefully we can see exactly what it looks like after each change, and hopefully give you guys the idea of how long and how many times you guys would probably want to do this drain and fill. So let's take a look here. This is the first one, number 0. So yeah, I can't even see through it. And then this is the first drain, and then second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and 7th. And all together, hopefully we can get them all in the same picture. You can kind of see there. So much different from the first to the last. And I'm happy with that. So like I said, I stopped at the 7th drain and fill. So just like that, ladies and gentlemen, you have now successfully changed or began the process to change or flush your power steering fluid on your Nissan GTR. And it's just that simple. It's pretty much a rinse and repeat process. So we are done for tonight. Another great project in the books for the GTR. Another maintenance item completed. Make sure you guys stay tuned for more. Make sure you guys subscribe because we have plenty more how-to videos for this car, for the Accent, for the truck, for the Jag, and who knows, maybe some more vehicles to come. But you got to stay tuned, get subscribed so you don't miss out. Thank you again for watching another one with Everything Avron. I'm Avron. I'll see you on the next one.